Hey folks, I'm often enamored by young and upcoming musicians on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is full of them, some really impressive ones. And every once in a while I've done a video where I mention them. I could actually do a channel and introduce new musicians every week. I mean, there's that many of them that crop up that are really impressive. And as well immersed as you are in music, you just keep finding more of them. I had a few lately, but the absolute latest one probably takes my breath away more than anyone I've ever watched play the guitar in a long time. So I thought I'd just send out this tip video so you can all do what I've done for the last 3 days and completely binge his channel and watch all of his performances. I'm talking about a young, I think French guitarist named Antoine Boyer, or Boyer, B-O-Y-E-R. I'm really taken by him because he's one of these rare people. Most guitarists specialize in either a style, a sound, a genre, or on a particular type of guitar. Sometimes you get guitarists who can move from one guitar style or type to another and do okay. But this guy is something else. I mean, we're talking serious prodigy, genius level guitarist here. Had he been born in the 17th or 18th century, he would have been sent to all the European courts to play for royalty. I mean, he's that good. It appears that he started out playing gypsy jazz. A lot of his earlier videos feature him on what looks like a Macafari style guitar or gypsy jazz guitar. A couple of different kinds playing that style. Seems that's where he's got his instruction. And there's all kinds of fabulous videos of him playing those guitars. Including one where he dedicates pieces that he wrote to various mentors and teachers. One being, is it La Bella Lagraine, the great gypsy jazz guitarist, probably getting his name wrong, and then Angelo De Barre. He just creates these pieces that are just technically phenomenal, in which he claims he just wrote the music after being inspired by those mentors, and then he included sort of techniques and motifs from their playing. But the pieces are so technically out there that you start to wonder if his mentors could even play them. It's kind of a strange phenomenon when you have a piece of music that is a homage that's perhaps superior to the person that they're paying homage to. And then you see videos of him playing an absolutely flawless classical guitar technique. I'm talking up there with the top concert hall classical guitarists, either of history or in the current scene. There are a couple of videos that he posted where he plays really difficult and technically challenging Dominic Scarlatti sonatas. And if you're familiar with late Baroque, it's probably one of the most challenging types of music, much more technically devious, let's say, than Bach or Vivaldi or any of the other Baroque composers. Early classical elements as well. But I mean, I couldn't even dream about playing a Scarlatti sonata on a guitar. But he just sails through it. Absolutely perfect, flawless, perfect tone, no bum notes, great touch, great delivery. It's really impressive to see. And then he has other videos where he has this unique fingerstyle jazz style of playing, sometimes alternating between flat picking and fingerstyle, and playing all manner of jazz from the earlier earlier jazz. For instance, probably the most coloristic, moody, hard to emulate jazz pianists of all time is Bill Evans. And I never thought I'd hear Bill Evans transcribed to guitar, but he does it absolutely flawlessly and keeps that sort of shape and tone and mood that Bill Evans was famous for, and transcribes it for guitar. More modern pieces by Edmondo Gismonte and Piazzolla and people like that, also flawlessly delivered. I think he has a Collings hollow body, and I think he has an Ibanez hollow body as well that he plays a lot. But check out his channel. I mean, the first of all, he's brilliant at transcribing music. He'll take a well-known piece, and there's a few of them on his channel. But he doesn't just deliver it in a normal way. He often plays the melody alternating with counterpoint parts above the melody or below the melody, with key changes, modulations, very complex harmonic structures. It's really amazing, absolutely amazing. It's like going to another level after listening to people like Tommy Emmanuel, who is also brilliant. But this kid is something else. He's really, really special. So yeah, he has this sort of jazz style. And when you watch the pieces, there's bits of Jim Hall or John Scofield. Gosh, he even gets up there into Alan Holdsworth territory with some of his runs and his chromatic playing. Pat Metheny, but obviously his own style. But it's just flawless. It's clean. Yeah, I'm really taken by it. And as I said, I've watched all the videos in recent days because it's uncanny how good this young man is, moving from one completely different style of guitar to another. Another thing that he's done recently is, or maybe not recently, but he had a few duets with a Korean harmonica player named, I think it's Yeore Kim. And there's some videos of just him and her playing as a duet that are just stunning. If you have never taken the harmonica seriously, go watch those videos. You'll appreciate harmonica as a much more in-depth instrument, capable of holding its own in any brass section or wind section, and being a solo instrument. I mean, her technique is stunning. And also a very young player. I mean, when they play together, they look no older than 15, 16, but their music is so mature and complex. And then more recently, it appears that they did some crowdfunding type of thing to raise the money to do an album together, in which they incorporate a brass section, drums, double bass, and they filmed all of the recording sessions. You can find them on his video channel, and they are also absolutely stunning. Again, he uses his classical, he uses his Macafari guitars, and he uses his various hollow bodies, and just oscillates between different styles and techniques, but is equally masterful in doing so. I mean, I haven't seen anything quite on that level since I got into jazz late in life. I must have been in my 30s when I first started to appreciate jazz, and my very favorite player was a man named Eric Dolphy, who could play any horn, and by horn I mean saxophone. So he played bari sax, alto sax, but he also could play the clarinet, usually the bass clarinet, and the flute. And he would jump on each of those instruments. And if you're a wind player, you can appreciate that each one of those is technically very different, and the embouchure, or the way you produce sound going from a reed to a brass instrument, is very, very different. But Dolphy could just switch between those 3 or 4 instruments with absolute ease and was an absolute master on each of them. Well, I would say that Antoine Boyer is that level, and maybe even beyond. It's just stunning. I know that I'm sort of fawning on this kid, but I really think his work and his playing and also his compositions are first rate. I tell you, he, in my opinion, is up there with all the best guitarists in the world right now. I haven't been this floored by a new guitarist. I'm often floored, but not to this level. I watch a lot of fingerstyle guys who just blow me away. But the last guitarist who absolutely stunned me, who I couldn't stop watching play, was Paco de Lucia. I got into Paco de Lucia and just watching, particularly his flamenco playing, just absolutely blew me away. And I went down a rabbit hole for days, weeks, probably years. I probably lost lifetimes chasing down his live performances. This player is probably the closest to that I've seen in recent times. So I just thought it was worth its own video. I'm not going to do what everyone else does. I'm not going to steal snippets of his music and put it in this video. I just encourage you to go look it up. He has a channel, Antoine Boyer, and he has, you know, early music from when he was a kid playing Gypsy Jazz stuff, and he has some classical pieces, some various different kinds of jazz pieces, and, you know, sort of Brazilian tango or Argentinian piazzolla type pieces as well, and then his own compositions, particularly with the new ensemble that he's put together in more recent times. So I just thought to mention that. You know, I'm often finding these new players, but this is just one player that is stunning. Even if you just go and watch one or two videos, I'll tell you, you'll be absolutely floored at his technique, but also his harmonic mind and his grasp of theory and composition. He's a very talented, blessed individual, and I've gushed enough, so I'll leave it there. But anyway, I want to go back and watch a few more of his videos. All right, folks, see you on the next one.